there is no real expectation for success because your success is based upon, especially particularly when we're talking about hip hop, right? And your success is based upon your willingness to throw your life away. And if you're unwilling to throw your life away, you're not allowed to be successful in hip hop anymore. And that is completely psychotic. But that's the current state of hip hop. And that's the expectation. As you're talking about what are the expectations? That's the expectation. And it's expected that Gunna was just supposed to throw his life away. Even though he
Because
has
why
nothing
not?
to do. Yeah, because why not? He has nothing to do with nothing.
I
You get
mean,
what I'm
he's a
saying?
black male. All he's gonna do is get somebody pregnant or commit crimes because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right? So just throw your life away, Gunner. No, you were supposed to just go ahead and keep it real, and not snitch. Hell no. Hell no. Whether he got on the stand, you feel me? Whether it's like the unofficial snitching that you saw right now in court, I don't care how it goes down. What you said was 100% correct. They should have protected him from ever even being in that situation. And the fact that they didn't, YSL didn't protect him from being in that situation, YSL, they get what they get. Get
The
what you
world is
get.
correct.
The world is correct. You right where you supposed to be.
Yep.
You right where you supposed to be, man. But Gunna, right? The rapper Gunna. Are you familiar with Gunna, Rob?
The only thing I know about Gunna is that he was on that song Florida Water with that AI robot FN Mecca.
I forgot about that. Well, anyway, Gunna was involved in a state RICO case in Atlanta, or in Georgia, I should say, surrounding being a part of the YSL gang, to which Young Thug is the, I guess, leader of that gang, right? That allegedly committed a whole bunch of crimes and murders and stuff like that in Georgia, right? Primarily Atlanta. Here's what's interesting. Like, he recently just got out of jail, and he took a plea, right? Which he was supposed to be sentenced to 5 years, right? They're giving him 1 year time served. He only did 6 months. He's only been in jail for about maybe 9 months, something like that. But they're gonna count that as 1 year time served, and the other 4 years is going to be a suspended sentence. And let me just play the video. I don't need to be sitting here fumbling over trying to explain it to y'all. Let me just play this news clip, and then we'll get back into the discussion. And of course, Rob, if you want me to pause it at any time, I'll definitely pause it.
All right, make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all.
Yeah, hit that like button.
We're staying on top of this breaking news tonight. Within the past 45 minutes, Atlanta rapper Gunna walked out of the Fulton County Jail. The rapper, whose real name is Sergio Kitchens, entered a negotiated guilty plea, what's known as an Alford plea, allowing him to also maintain his innocence. Gunna was in jail on racketeering and conspiracy charges, part of a large gang indictment that includes rapper Young Thug and other alleged members of YSL or Young Slime Life gang. And also today,
real quick, an Alford plea is really interesting. I've never heard of that before, and I kind of looked into it very quickly a little bit, because like it was what she says kind of sounds weird, where you took a plea but still have your innocence, like you're not guilty, but you took a plea deal anyways. You get what I'm saying?
It sounds to me like it's some kind of thing where like you get out of court now, but if you get pulled over for a speeding ticket and your back tail light is out, you go into jail for 15 years. That's what it sounds like to me.
Basically. So it's like it's something where you agree it's better for me to. I'm not saying that I'm guilty of anything, right? Like, yeah, I'm innocent and I'm claiming my innocence, and y'all are recognizing that I'm saying that I'm innocent, right? But I'm recognizing that it's better for me to take the plea than try to fight it out in court. So, like, in some weird way, the court quasi looks at you as being innocent, right? Without you even having to go through the whole ordeal of being found innocent, but you're still being found guilty. It's weird. Like, I don't get that. But I guess in short, it's just what you said.
So
We'll
it's
let
like
you
no
out.
contest light.
You said a no contest light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Alleged YSL co-founder Walter Murphy
Let me
negotiated
rewind
a
that
guilty
back a
plea
little
in the
bit.
RICO
I
indictment.
interrupted that part.
And also today, alleged YSL co-founder Walter Murphy negotiated a guilty plea in the RICO indictment ahead of the trial scheduled to start next month. New at 6, Channel 2's Mark Winnie is live at the Fulton County Jail with what all of this means today. Mark.
Yeah, some big stuff said in court today. We got wind that something was going on in the YSL case, hustled down to the courthouse, got there in time. I shot the hearing on my iPhone. It is a major, major development in a major case.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
That Sergio Kitchens, perhaps better known as music star Gunna.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. What is a NOLO? I keep seeing that he did a NOLO, NOLO. Do you know? Have you ever heard? What is a NOLO, Rob? You know what that's an abbreviation of?
Nah, I'm about to look it up real quick. I know what YOLO is.
Right. All right, go ahead and look it
Yeah.
up while I'm gonna keep playing this.
Let's see.
That Sergio Kitchens, perhaps better known as music star Gunna, was gonna get out of jail soon, seemed apparent early in the hearing as Fulton County Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love went through the sentence that would be recommended.
5 years to serve 1, commuted to time served, balance suspended. And the parties agree that upon completion of the special conditions that I will enumerate, the suspended sentence will terminate by consent order.
The Fulton County District Attorney's Office says Gunna pled guilty to the single count he faced in a sprawling indictment focused on the alleged criminal street gang YSL against him and more than 24 others. Conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. The guilty plea entered as what's called an Alford plea, where a defendant doesn't admit he committed the crime but acknowledges it's in his best interest to plead guilty.
If called by any party in this case, you will testify truthfully, but reserve any Fifth Amendment rights or privileges against self-incrimination. You agree to perform 500 hours of community service, a substantial portion of which will require that you speak to young men and women about the hazards and immortality of gangs and gang violence, and the decay that it causes our communities.
A Sergio Kitchens press statement suggests in the case of his Alford plea, he's, quote, maintaining my innocence toward the same charge, unquote. It says, while I've agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. And
Okay, so real quick, hey, Mr. Knickerbocker said NOLO is NOLO. It's like it's a Georgia thing, it's a GA thing. It's something that she learned about once she moved down there because she lives
It's
there
the
now.
same as a no contest plea.
Yeah, it's like mercy of the court, you know. So basically, they like, all right, bro, like go ahead and get up out of here. Because here's the thing with Gunna, that's interesting, and we don't have to keep watching the rest of this, you know, because it's pretty long. It's like maybe 2 more minutes left, or we can because it is interesting. But no, let me, because it's going to start a whole nother conversation concerning Gunna. So let me play the rest of this, and then I'll say what I'm going to say.
court, some startling statements.
Please state after each statement whether or not you agree or acknowledge that statements are truthful, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
A YSL indictment includes Jeffrey Williams, a.k.a. Young Thug. His attorney, Brian Steele, has said,
Mr. Williams committed no crime.
Judge Ural Glanville.
I find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I find no factual basis for your plea, and I'm going to accept your plea as tendered and as negotiated.
Okay, now here's what's interesting, right? Because if you're listening to what was being said in the court just now, right? Like, do you recognize that YSL was a gang as well as a record label, and that they were doing things, and you were aware of these things? Yes, all these things, right? So, like, he put out in a statement like, "I didn't snitch. I didn't snitch." Remember we talked about it behind the scenes, like how he's still trying to hold his I guess moniker, for lack of better words, of him not being a snitch. I didn't snitch. I didn't snitch. Now, when you listen to what's being said in the court, that just looked like another way of snitching. Like she's saying, "Do you agree to this?" Yeah. Like, you didn't directly say like, "Yeah, him." You know what I'm saying? You're not pointing everything out, but like, and everybody out, but like, she's saying, making these statements, and you're just saying yay or nay to it, right?
Well, what he's done with that is that he's established that the things that they're accusing them of, as far as like the pattern of racketeering for the RICO, all of that exists.
Mm-hmm. It exists. Yeah.
So that can then be used once they use whatever evidence it is to put the responsibility of it on somebody. We know that it exists because of Gunna's testimony.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But now here's the thing though, right? And this is what like pisses me off about this whole thing surrounding Gunna. When all this first went down, for anybody I'm not in tune with hip hop as much as I used to be, but by way of my oldest son, right? So a lot of you don't know I have an older son. He's what do you call it? Stepson, I believe it would be called, right? But my oldest, right? I'm still connected and in tune, with hip hop, even though I don't really pay attention like that, but anymore like I used to. But I still kind of know what's going on, right? What was interesting is that when all of this went down, everybody in the hip hop community, from people that are in the industry, like who you'd hear talk about it, to just fans, knew 100% Gunna has nothing to do with anything. He's literally just signed to the record label and is just guilty by association. That's legit. He's just guilty by association. This brother's just a rapper who's trying to rap, make money, and he was very successful prior to going into jail. He was huge. You know what I mean? Prior to going into jail. But everybody knew this. Everybody knew, like, it was like a sad, like, dang, like Gunna looking at 25, 30 years, man, he ain't even do nothing. He don't got nothing to do with this. Like, like people were like, man, that's tough for Gunna, you know? But I tried. Genius said TD not tuned media.
That's hilarious. Hey, I didn't have to take the hip hop part off.
Yeah, I gotta take the hip hop part off. I gotta take the hip hop part off on my main channel. It's called No More TD Hip Hop Media. TD Not in Tune Media.
That's hilarious.
Just as a little side note, I was talking to Rob about this behind the scenes, but I'm actually planning on a name change pretty soon. But we'll save that for the main channel. I'll definitely TD Not in Tune Media. But my point is this: is that like now, right? That you can call it snitching, I guess, if you want to, even though it's not in the traditional sense, but you can. Now people are running around saying like, "Oh, he a snitch, he a snitch, he a snitch," And I look at it like, hold on, man, wait a minute. Y'all know, everybody know good and well he don't got nothing to do with nothing. And he signed with Young Thug because it's a record label. I'm trying to get on. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I signed here to do music, right? Not to be involved in these extracurricular activities. And I'm not a part of these extracurricular activities. I have nothing to do with it. I'm literally guilty by association. Y'all know it's guilty by association, right? Y'all know, everybody knows I didn't do nothing, but are holding me to the standard of like, oh, you snitching. Now y'all want to down me for snitching. Like, I don't agree with that. You get
Here's
what I'm
my
saying?
question. Why is it that they don't look at how YSB or YSG took him down?
YSL
or YSL, whatever these
YSG, YSB,
whatever their names is, the mumble rap crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, how come people aren't looking at it like they really messed up Gunna's life, instead of looking at Gunna like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you snitching and stuff. You know what I'm saying, like, you snitching. I mean, like,
Gunna's life up. He
Yeah.
didn't do nothing to y'all, but go
If
ahead.
he hadn't signed with that record label, if he had done his own thing or whatever, or been somewhere else, he wouldn't even be in jail. But people are like, they're looking at him like the label didn't have loyalty enough to keep Gunna out of that situation. They didn't conduct themselves in a way where they were keeping their employees safe. So Gunna somehow is supposed to have some kind of loyalty to them that he has to, you know, risk purging himself or possibly getting in trouble for going, you know, for saying something that's not true on the stand. That's why the world is correct, because that's the knee-jerk reaction. Oh, he's a snitch. What about his employer didn't keep him safe?
Yeah. That's what they should have did. Young Thug and them should have kept him safe and kept him completely isolated from that kind of stuff, to where he's just an employee here. He just raps.
Yeah.
That's it. He don't know nothing about nothing. The fact that you even, because that's what's real, bro. Like, y'all messed up Gunner's life. The fact that Young Thug and them even put him in this position to where he has to kind of unofficially snitch, that's on y'all.
Yep.
That's on y'all. That's not on Gunna, because y'all was supposed to keep him away from that.
Yep.
That's what y'all supposed to do. We got the street stuff over here, business over here. You get what I'm saying?
You see, he ain't in jail because of nothing with FN Mecca.
Exactly. Not in jail.
FN Mecca ain't get him in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, FN Mecca ain't get him in trouble. Young Thug and them got him in trouble. And then folks want to down him and say that he's snitching, knowing good and well he ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And now he's supposed to go down for these dudes. You can't, but people want, like Untried Genius said, that, you know, that's the culture, man. That's the culture. Y'all just want this man to go down just to go down. For what? Y'all want him to keep it real. Keeping what real? Like, y'all brought him down. Y'all put him in a bogus situation. And now he's supposed to do 25 years for stuff that he ain't do, when y'all should have protected him from it. Man, go ahead and dry snitch, whatever, bro. I'm do your thing, Gunna. You know, tell whatever you got to tell, bro.
If so, like Untried Genius says that's the culture, right? So my question is, if that is the culture, if that's what's perceived as the culture, if that's the baseline, you know, assumption is that somehow Gunna is in the wrong, despite the fact that Gunna actually is the only one that did anything right in the situation by not being in legal trouble to begin with. What's the expectations of a culture like that for success? That's my question.
There is no real expectation for success, because your success is based upon, especially particularly when we're talking about hip hop, right? And your success is based upon your willingness to throw your life away. And if you're unwilling to throw your life away, you're not allowed to be successful in hip hop anymore. And that is completely psychotic. But that's the current state of hip hop. And that's the expectation. As you're talking about, what are the expectations? That's the expectation. And it's expected that Gunna was just supposed to throw his life away. Even though he has nothing to do. Yeah, because why not? He has nothing to do with nothing.
I mean, he's a black male. All he's gonna do is get somebody pregnant or commit crimes, because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right? So just throw your life away, Gunna. No, you were supposed to just go ahead and, you know, keep it real, you know, and not snitch. Hell no. Hell no. Whether he got on a stand, you feel me? Whether it's like the unofficial snitching that you saw right now in court, I don't care how it goes down. What you said was 100% correct. They should have protected him from ever even being in that situation. And the fact that they didn't, YSL didn't protect him from being in that situation, YSL, they get what they get. Get what you get.
Correct.
The world is correct. You right where you supposed to be, you know? You right where you supposed to be, man.